So what's your name? Yullbrenna.
Ah, fresh meat!
Alright, hey everybody, Yullbrenna here with another Ability Arena gameplay video. This time I'm going to be playing Rubick, one of my favorite gods. Probably a god with a pretty low win rate, but I'm going to show you why this god can be pretty powerful and actually really fun in the right situations. So right now I'm just picking up strong spells. I think Essence Shift is always really contested, so I picked up Essence Shift. I really like Fade Bolt, and my plan is to put Fade Bolt into my Rubick build, and then Purification just for some general heals. So Rubick not doing so well, you know, I'm stealing spells, but I don't really have the mana to cast it, so it's not going fantastic. I need some frontline, but let's talk about what Rubick does. So Rubick obviously gains the spell steal, which upgrades based off total spell points, so you don't need to be max shop level. And then you can see at super, you're going to get a 25-second cooldown reduction and spell amp on the stolen spells, and then at Gaben, you can steal up to 2 spells, and you're increasing the cast range. So you really want to get up to Gaben so you can steal the most spells. Again, on Chaos Knight, I just picked up some early game winning spells. Quill Spray is always really good to have early. Sometimes it doesn't scale that well into the late game unless you're going for Gaben and the spell lifesteal. And I seem to be running out of mana, so that's why I picked up Chakra Magic. Essence Shift will not be going on my Oracle. I have the 1 spell point, so I might as well shift it out right now. Alright, so still struggling a little bit here. I think Rubick is someone who gets a little bit stronger as time goes on. I'm going to pick up Berserker's Blood for an early, I think it's an early game spell that can go well, especially you just need to get it to level 3. And then I find Fiery Soul, so I'm going to lock shop. Fiery Souls is key to the way I play Rubick. Okay, so I'm going to pick Visage. I'm actually going to make Visage my Rubick unit. Visage has a pretty fun passive where the longer Visage stays alive, the more cooldown reduction they have. So I'm going to see what I can do with that. And I put Fiery Souls on there because my Rubick unit is going to be casting a lot of spells, so those Fiery Soul stacks are going to build quite quickly. Still struggling a little bit here, finding levels and spells, but I think Rubick plays a lot better in the mid to late game. Early game, like I said, there's not as many spells to steal, and I just don't have the build in place with Fiery Souls, and I'm going to be building with Warpath too, and so that just requires a lot more late game investment in spells for this to really work. False Promise, always a solid spell to pick up, so I'll go ahead and grab that and upgraded shop again. You don't need to go max shop. I've just, you know, power leveled my shop. Now I don't have to worry about it the rest of the game, and I can just focus on getting spells because again, it's all about spell points with Rubick. Just got beat. That is a tough Troll Warlord. That's okay. I'm just going to go with Paladin Sword. It's a very generic spell that I think will work with anybody's build, so I'll throw that on the Visage, and I kind of have the build where I want it. I have some lifesteal, I have Fade Bolt, as well, and we'll see if I can get that up. And then I have Warpath, so Warpath and Fiery Souls, they're going to be gaining stacks like crazy, and that's the goal of this build. See Visage doing a lot of work early on. Still needs a little bit of help, and right now the Chaos Knight's just not providing any help, and the Oracle is just there for heals. So I need to add a little bit more damage, and that's going to be where my Morphling comes into play. I'm going to go for a Focus Fire build, which is always a bit of a gamble because Focus Fire is kind of just one target and done early on, and it doesn't really become a game-breaking spell until Gaven, so not my favorite. But let's see what happens. My Visage got blown up early by that Tearblade, so this is kind of a lost cause, and again, I leveled up quite aggressively early, so I'm going to be behind for a little bit, but let's see if I can get this Visage build working and maybe turn it around. So Spiked Carapace and Borrowed Time, always a classic combo, kind of just keeping the front line intact, and then I'm just looking for that final build, which is really just going to be an ultimate, and that's it. Finally beat that Techie's build after he'd beat me in the past. I've got Warpath up to level 3, so pretty excited about that. And things hopefully are going a little bit better. More Focus Fire again, that's the build I'm going to be going with long term. I just have some Fervor in there because once the initial Focus Fire is done, I need him to keep attacking at a faster pace, and so that'll help do that. Alright, back-to-back wins, and I'm figuring out what I want to do. I could use Muerta, but I'm gonna go with Ogre. Ogre's great frontline, and so he'll be my Borrowed Time, and then I just have an ultimate on Chaos Knight. And for that one, remember, I got blown up by that Tearblade. I don't want that to happen again, so I'm gonna prevent that with the Guardian Angel. There's one of the downsides. You can see my Rubick unit channeling spells. I find that to be one of the drawbacks of a Rubick build, is make sure there's not a lot of channeling spells that can leave them a little vulnerable. So your freezing fields and your life drain and stuff like that. I swapped in Bash to the Deep for Focus Fire. That'll just pretty much permastun a unit to death. So Morphling should take out at least one unit by himself. This stealing Flesh Golem, and with Warpath just becoming a monster, you can see the damage Visage does is great. He's running out of mana though, so it's not ideal. I just need 1 point in Bash to the Deep right now. I can probably go for more later, but I'm looking for getting my Visage up, so I need points in Warpath. I'm really trying to get that to level 6 and Gaben, and then getting my Ogre Magi some good spells as well. Visage stealing spells, but he's stealing so many spells, and a lot of these are really high mana spells, like Mystic Flare, that he's running out of mana quite a bit. So putting Oracle next to him for the Chakra Magic, but I'm not sure if it's working right now. So going with that one, it provides some good damage, so I can put that on my Visage, I can put it on my Morphling. I think either way it should be fine. And again, I've been running out of mana repeatedly. I would love to do the Fade Bolt and get that up to Super and Gaben. I think that's really fun to do with a Warpath build. You're just getting so much damage stolen, but I just really need the mana on my Visage because he's stealing so many spells. Didn't like any of the spells, so I just purchased a random one. I didn't want to get False Promise past level 3. I think it's not good value for the money. And I get Spell Steal now to Gaben, so I'm going to be stealing 2 spells. And got a lot of good spells showing up here. Miss Coil, I think I'm going to get to Gaben. Ideally when it gets to Gaben, I like to put it more on a front line, so I may be switching this to my Ogre Magi at some point. Oracle is providing a lot of good heals and using that innate to the best of its ability. So there's where Guardian Angel comes into play. That Tearblade kind of tried to blow up my Visage, didn't get to do it. My Visage is in their backline doing a lot of damage, but it's got a lot of heals with the sidekick, so it managed to stay alive pretty well. I totally missed that Warpath. That was a complete accident. That was a bit of a bummer, but should be able to find it. I don't think too many people are going Warpath. It's not a spell that's picked up often. It's actually one of the lowest win rate spells, and that could be why Rubick is one of the lower win rate gods. Both these spells just have low win rates for some reason. So this is where, like I said, I wanted to switch out, put Miss Coil on my front line, just so he's healing everybody. 2 really good spells on there, like Spike Carapace is a top spell. I'm going to be taking a lot of it, and of course Borrowed Time for the additional survivability. I've got Warpath now to Super, so I'm getting Lifesteal. So Visage should be staying alive and doing a lot of damage, and hopefully continue this win streak. See, now that I have Chakra Magic on my Visage unit, I was able to cast the Healing Ultimate, and I'm just having more mana and casting more spells, and I think the cooldown reduction of Visage plus the Chakra Magic is it's doing a lot of work, and I'm just casting and stealing so many spells here. It's easy to gain Warpath and Fiery Soul stacks, which is why I'm going past level 3 for Fiery Souls. I normally only stay at level 3. I don't think there's too much value in going to Gaben, but sometimes it can be pretty fun. You can see the downfall of a Rubick build too. He's getting into the front line and taking a lot of damage, but he's surprisingly healing through a lot of it. But it's a lot of damage, and yeah, he goes down. I've been having trouble with this Techies build, and this Troll Warlord has killed me a few times. So it's going to be something I need to watch out for. Focus Fire is almost to Gaben, so that's pretty good. And yeah, I really want to focus on getting it. If I can get Focus Fire to Gaben, that'd be really big for my build, and Warpath to Gaben as well. I think those are two big win conditions. Another downside again of Visage getting into that front line, but he has so much lifesteal from Warpath and Sidekick. He's managing to stay alive. He's also healing a bunch. There's a lot of healing spells in the game. He's stealing a bunch and was keeping my team alive. I also have the Mistcoil keeping my team alive as well, so I've got a lot of survivability on my team. I'll take Fade Bolt to level 3, but I'm not going to go past that. If I was putting on my Visage unit, I probably would go further. And I'll keep Chakra Magic, I think, at level 3. Maybe I could go super on it, but I think at level 3 is fine. I've got better spells to target. Stealing duel and winning it, I get a huge amount of damage. So my Visage is hitting like a truck. That was a nice spell to steal for sure. Alright, Warpath to Gaben. It's a big spell, and I found Guardian Angel as well. I think I'll keep that to Gaben as well. There's a lot of people with auto attack builds in this game, so probably a good idea I go to Gaben on that one. Guy's got a huge front line, but my Morphling and Visage just tear through it. Visage is just stealing tons of spells, causing all sorts of problems. And that guy is out of here, so it's just me and the Centaur build. I'm gonna go Bloodthorn. I could go with more cooldown reduction with the Octarine Core, but I think Bloodthorn is the safer option. But it would have been a fun one to go with Octarine Core and get some additional. I just think Bloodthorn is the safer call, and it's a lot of good added damage. Alright, let's see how this goes. Got hit, but I stole duel again. And my Visage is hitting like a truck. You can see I stole the damage here. About 500 duel damage that I'm stealing on top of all the Warpath damage. So should be pretty good. I also just got Focus Fire to Gaven. I'm pretty sure the opponent also has Focus Fire Gaven on their Lina. So that's an interesting one. They're trying to go for the Bash plus Focus Fire Gamen, and that's kind of like, we'll see how that goes. I'm looking for positioning, it's just the top two, so might as well. I kind of wanted to get the laser to prevent one of his units from doing attack damage. You can see his Phantom Lancer actually has 519 duel damage, so the winning duel that Visage had earlier in the game actually gave him duel damage. I steal duel again, get a bunch of damage, and I think we've got this one wrapped up in the bag. Rubick's just too strong for this lobby, and win the game. Really appreciate everybody watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Really appreciate it. Really helps grow the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.